The issue here is that there's lots of, for example, epidemiological data about people's medical conditions and public health records and so on, which is extremely valuable for research purposes. You want to know how diseases spread and, and so on. And but there are privacy concerns about revealing, who has diseases. None of us wants that information being poured over even by, research physicians that we trust, and they don't have any particular reason to want to know the name of the person who has this particular syndrome or that most of the time. They're happy just to deal with the data. But it turns out that the art of removing enough data so that the remaining data cannot be combined with other public sources of information to figure out who the individuals are, that's actually a very tricky business, because there are so many public databases, voter registration databases, for example, that have lots of information about where you live and what your name is and what your age is and what your gender is and so on. And so it turns out, for example, that just knowing date of birth, gender, and zip code, 5-digit zip code, is enough to uniquely identify, I think 87%, 86,
yeah, 80-something,
85 or 86% of the population uniquely. There's only, in large parts of the country, there will only be a single person with that particular combination of, so a medical database that retains even that much information, which is all the sort of thing that a epidemiologist would want to know without wanting to know your name necessarily. Want to know sort of, roughly where you live and, how old you are and it's very hard to strip out enough data to make the data truly anonymous without taking out so much data that it's useful for research purposes. Yeah. And so this is a difficult point of collision between privacy laws on the other end, privacy regulations on the one hand, and the public's interest in having, for example, medical research done.
This excerpt is brought to you by the Massachusetts School of Law, the leader of reform in legal education and a leader in multimedia education for the public. To view the full interview and for a full listing of MSL's programs, log on to mslaw.edu.